Hi, it's Andy.
Hi, it's Dave.
Hi, it's Kirk.
Welcome to the ADK Rock and Metal channel, and today we are checking out the band Blackbriar, and the song is called Until Eternity. Now, this is a band we have checked before.
Way back,
about 18 months or so ago. I presented the band to you, and you guys hated them.
Blackbriar.
You didn't like them, basically.
It's amazing that I remember, but yeah, I think I enjoyed the video and the theatrics and the costumes and everything.
What kind of music is it?
Symphonic, gothic, rock.
I'll be open-minded.
The feedback you had last time was it was all too much focused on her as a singer, the chords, and I think, Andy, you said I could literally bring my guitar now and play the guitar riffs.
And I'm terrible.
Yeah. Sorry. And if you want to check out Nomadic Rain and 6 bar.
It's just to see how terrible I am. Yeah. Did I say that?
I do remember this.
Did I say that about this particular song?
Yes.
Or Blackbriar?
So that was the song called Arms of the Ocean.
Oh, Diane van Giersbergen's band. They've just signed to Nuclear Blast, apparently.
So, great. I love this band. It's a band that I have recently re-engaged with. But I don't find them as... they're not an instantly accessible band. And that's why I think, because it took me a long time to get into their album. Now, it's one of my favourite albums, the one that this song came off of. But when I first listened to the album, I dismissed it completely.
Why am I thinking Diane van Giersbergen's in the band when she's not?
Okay, let's go. Okay. Blackbriar, Until Eternity.
Cool logo.
You can move that there.
The sound of the guitar.
And of course I love it because it's storytelling.
Yeah.
Off this album they spent a lot of money on videos.
That's a good shot there.
Even that slow camera movement just moving across. Even like the outfits, like the work that's put into it.
I loved you once, I loved you twice.
Ooh, bit of a Björk pronunciation there.
Yeah.
My previous lives, I know your voice.
Who did the song, was it? Running to the Hills. Running up the hills.
Kate Bush.
She reminds me of Kate Bush a little bit. Like metal Kate Bush.
Running up that hill. Yeah.
She likes to really like accentuate her vocals.
You can tell English is not her first language.
It's not yours either.
Fuck off. Northerners, we speak real English. I'm like you saying, "Owie ya." Why does he look like Gene Wilder, Willy Wonka in this? I think you're right, Andy. You could definitely play guitar to this. Oh, there's a pinch harmonic in there.
I love the fact that tempo's up, but she's still singing at that half.
Good pickup, that, yeah. Yeah, you're right, yeah.
They're playing at completely different paces.
It's like they've put a new song into it. Yeah. In the end, though, I think that works against them. You know, she's staying at that tempo. Yeah. I don't think it suits that.
They should have kept the tempo of the guitars the same rather than put the tempos.
Or eventually changed it. At first, it was a good idea. Because you have to. I like that.
got a song called Witching Hour, which I think you would actually really like.
That's a
Much
Venom
more
song as
metal,
well.
metal track. They don't do a video for it, unfortunately.
love you in
Reminds me of Paradise Lost solos.
Yeah. Bit more technical than Paradise Lost in that part. That's the memorable part, how she holds that note, isn't it? Whoa!
Okay, there we go. Blackbriar and Until Eternity. Andy, your thoughts?
Not a million miles away from one of my favourite bands, Theatre of Tragedy. Again, like we mentioned before, I think with the Floor Jansen band After Forever, it just needs a bit more injection of heaviness, a bit more sort of metallising of the guitar sound and perhaps bringing them forward a little bit because, you know, that sort of female vocalist, symphonic, gothic metal, like Theatre of Tragedy is something that I really enjoy listening to. She's not got the greatest voice. You know, there's much better female vocalists, I think, in my opinion, in this genre. As I said, the guitars need to be beefed up a little bit, but overall, is a decent track. It just needs a little bit more for me. I really like the haunting keyboards at the beginning that sort of introduced the song. Video though is excellent. You know, they've got the period costumes. It's got the setting that house, and the whole look of it is sort of, I don't know, 17th century or whatever. But they've put a lot of time and effort into creating this sort of scenario, this world, and this sort of place in time, which I guess is the sort of ethics, of, you know, aesthetics of the band, and you know what the songs are about, and they relish that sort of time in history. So credit for that. You know, this is something that you would think I would really enjoy. I mean, you said there's a particular track that I would prefer, which has got a bit more heaviness involved.
Yeah,
in
Witching Hour.
Yeah, which I might check out, but. This could be a band that I'll really get into. I mean, I know you're a fan, but it just needs that little bit more from me in the way of sort of hardening it up and making it a bit more metal and a bit more rock. But I can see what they're doing. I can see the appeal. I can see, you know, why they probably have got a good following, but it just needs a bit more. But video, excellent.
Over to you, Kirk.
Yeah, I'm going to echo what you've just said there, Andy. I think this is a band that the vocal arrangements are excellent, really well thought out. And then they look at Cubase or whatever program they're using and thinking, right, now we need to add some metal riffs into this. We need to put a solo in. Where can we do it? So they're working within tight constraints. Rather than the songs being written from the guitar riffs, they're written around vocals, which makes sense because Zara Koch, I think she is one of the strongest. Might disagree with you on that one. And a bit of a issue with the enunciation of English, like Björk in the opening verses. Doesn't put me off, but it is something that we do need to note. That song was just bland, though. It didn't do anything for me. I honestly would rather read through the terms and conditions of a mortgage application form than have to listen to that album. You know, in that legal speak. I couldn't even have it on as background music. I don't hate it. I'm going to use your phrase. It doesn't do anything wrong, but it's not really much of a compliment to say that, is it? I can't make a judgment on this band though. If this is the singles, you said they've got some heavier, more experimental stuff. So I'd need to listen to an album, I think, to give a full appraisal. On the 2 video singles that I've seen so far, not my type of music. It's not bad music. It's just does little to excite me. Gothic metal, symphonic gothic metal, never lived up to its promise. You know, when you look at the origins, bands like Stillbirth in Sweden and Paradise Lost with that 1991 Gothic album, that's a million miles away of what this has become. Epica, Delane, even Nightwish, I'm sorry, I can't say I'm a big fan of their music. And this is just yet another one in that series of bands that are just a bit too innocuous for me. Can't really remember anything from that, apart from that excellent pinch harmonic riff. And there was a fantastic vocal, it's not even an ad-lib, it's what she goes, oh, she does a bit of a... So I've just said I can't remember anything and then picked out two things which were excellent. So contradicting myself there. Yeah, I would, if I had to give it a score out of 10, to me that's a 4 out of 10 song.
Okay. Now this is a band, or this album that this is off is my favourite album at the moment to listen to. But it wasn't always. So this is something where I think it's really important to understand the journey of going through listening to a band like this. So I came across this band, Arms of the Ocean was recommended a few years back on the Dave Does channel. I did a review of it and I brought it to this channel about 18 months ago and it wasn't something we kind of got. And I didn't understand why. I was like, oh, she's got this great haunting vocal delivery. How can you not love this? But then I hadn't really, I'd got this album and I listened to it a couple of times and I pretty much dismissed the whole album. And hadn't got into it. And then recently I've just started getting back and finding albums that I've got on the computer in MP3 form. And I'm like, do you know what? I'm going to go back and start listening to these albums and give them more of a chance to find out what it was that maybe I didn't get into it. And somehow some of those albums still haven't got into it, or just for whatever reason, just cannot connect with them. But this album really did. And I think it was a mindset change when I started visualizing it. And this is a visual band. We talk about, they're completely different to bands like Epica, Nightwish, Within Temptations, any of those bands, because they're symphonic metal bands who do a symphonic song. This is...
more gothic metal, this, isn't it? Yeah.
This is a stage show.
Okay.
If you think about their songs as the soundtrack to a theatrical stage show, imagine them being characters on stage singing these songs and the music is... You've got the orchestra down the bottom and they're singing this song and they're actors... performing, they're singing to each other on stage. This is what you're getting here. And every song off the album, whether it's like I'd Rather Burn is on there, or it might be on the second album actually I was listening to as well, I'd Rather Burn, Witching Hour, you've got the song Cry of the Banshee, they're all story based. So every single song on the album is about a story. None of it's about ambiguous generalization. It's all about a very specific, and that's why they can do it in their videos. They can tell these stories. And her vocals, if you were to put them in the generalization of female vocalists like Floor, Janssen Tarja, she's weak compared to them in the traditional sense. But she's got a very unique vocal style, and I think that's what sets her apart from everyone else, and that's why I really love about it. But I also found that when I very first got into the band, or started listening to the band, I didn't quite get the vocal style. I thought, oh, she sounds a bit pitchy there, she sounds a bit off key, and that was just my ears, just not. I wasn't expecting her to go in that direction. I was expecting her to do a Floor Janssen. I'm like, why is she going all this? What the fuck's she doing? Now I absolutely love it. I have to, when I listen to this in the van when I'm driving to work, I can see this. I imagine them performing this on stage as though it was a stage show.
So there's a costume change between songs.
Costume change. You're seeing a theatrical performance, and that's what you have to think about with Blackbriar. Brideer is another band. Blackbriar is they are putting on a show. I couldn't imagine, though, just going and watching them play this as a gig. I think I'd be bored out of my mind watching them play it as just a gig.
Yeah.
But if they did a theatrical show with actors and interaction and stuff, I'd be absolutely blown away.
Yeah,
Which if you saw a metal band playing a gig and putting it on, and them trying to put a show onto it wouldn't make any sense. But so I think they've really tried to tap into a particular direction here. And if you approach it from that point of view, you can appreciate it. And that's why I think the chords and the guitars are sitting there back, because the instrumentation is there as a backdrop to the show. And that's why the vocals are almost like a spoken word. They're trying to tell the story, so they have to sit back. But if you approach this as, is this a symphonic metal band, you're going to be disappointed. If you treat it as a show band, then it's different.
I think I could probably listen to the album then with that mindset. If you say, imagine there's a costume change between each song, you've got the the orchestra which are out of view and then all the actors are on stage.
And they're doing this.
That probably would be easier to get behind or to follow. Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way. Do you remember we were talking about another band and you were saying there were no choruses and I was saying they don't write choruses. I'm approaching this wrong. I'm like, where are the riffs? They're a storytelling band, aren't they?
Yeah. And that's where so like when we talked about this band, we were referencing band Kodama, and I was saying about the choruses. On my first listen to it, I would have given that as, when we scored it out the album, it wouldn't be a bin it, but it would have been an automatic trade it, because I was like, there's nothing about this album. But I had to listen to it more and more times, and I had to approach it in a different way and listen to it in a different way. And I think Blackbriar is one of those bands you have to approach it with the looking at it from the point of view that they want you to look at it. They don't want you to look at them as a metal band or a rock band.
Yeah.
They're like, here is a theatrical storytelling show that we're going to put on. So if I'm talking about Tell and Scribe, this is a band I'd want to go on tour supporting.
Yeah,
they're the band that I would want Tell and Scribe to open for, because I'd like, they're doing what we would eventually want to do, but in our own style. We're more rock, but we're more heavier.
Yeah.
But they're doing what they're getting that storytelling approach. Every song is about a topic.
It's like a chapter in a novel, then, isn't it?
But so the song I said you'd enjoy, Witching Hour, is much more driven. It's got some great kind of chugging riffs in there, but it's probably one of the few songs on the album that's got that.
Yeah.
But it's again, it's a great talk about witches and stuff like that. So anyway, there we go. Blackbriar and Until Eternity. Now, if you enjoyed our video today, please do like, share and subscribe. We'll see you on our video sometime very soon. Take care.